Welcome. Welcome to All Souls Church Unitarian. I am Sherry, I am Sherry Gilbert, your worship associate this morning. My pronouns are she, her. We are so glad that you have joined us today. We welcome you to our annual Christmas pageant, where we feature the voices and talents of our youngest to older All Souls congregants. We come today to hear a specific story. It's the story of the birth of Jesus, captured in the book of Luke, in the Christian Bible. Jesus became a leader in his community and often spoke about how people should be in community together. He spoke about love and the importance of loving one's God and about loving one's neighbor. Many people to this day love Jesus because he reminds us to love even when it is not easy, to love and protect one another, even when that love costs us. But in this story, Jesus is just a baby, not even a day old. So this story isn't really about him. This is really about those around him, his parents, the village, the animals, really all of creation, who desperately needed hope. Throughout the ages, humanity has found hope in new life, especially in new babies. Today, we gather to tell this story because we are also a community gathered to discover and create hope together. As we celebrate this year, let us all be mindful of what Christmas, of what Jesus calls us to do, to love and to peace. This is has a particularly important meaning this year as the lands where they happened are engulfed in war. To care for the poor and the marginalized, to care for those who are suffering. And as Jesus said on the Mount, we say today, blessed are the peacekeepers. Blessed are the peacekeepers. Today, our chalices remind us of what we seek in this time of anticipation, a light of joy despite all the sadness, a light of hope where despair keeps watch, a light of courage where fear is ever present, a light of peace for war-torn communities, a light of grace to ease heavy burdens, a light of love to inspire connection, a light for justice that has been long denied. Our chalice is lit for the yearnings of spirit yet to be realized in this world. And in the spirit of love and joy, would you please welcome those around you in our community? I invite you to turn to someone you didn't maybe come in with and say hello and greetings. Thank you. We hope you will keep the greetings and conversations going after the service. I invite you to now please rise, embody your spirit, and join in our opening hymn, It Came Upon the Midnight Clear.
So I am the Reverend Caitlin Cotter Coilberg, she, her, your acting minister of religious education, and it is almost time for the pageant. So I think we've got most of our parts in place, but we do have ushers with backup costumes. Does anyone need another costume, want to pick up a role in this pageant? If you need it at any point, just wave wildly at an usher and they will rush to your assistance. So Graham and I will be narrating the story today, and we will tell you when it is your turn to come up. And kids, remember, when you come up, bring your script or your part. We will be singing carols throughout the story, and we want all of us to be in this together. So don't worry about doing things right or making mistakes, because there aren't any mistakes. This is a time when we celebrate blessed imperfection. Friends, there is only us telling the story of the birth of a little baby named Jesus, who was born in an unexpected place and grew up to have a hard and important life, and whose teachings were all about love, inclusive, radical, challenging love. There is only us bringing the story of that birth joyfully, messily, and chaotically to life. And joyful and messy and chaotic is how new life usually comes into being, isn't it? Anyone have a memory of noisy, chaotic life coming into being? I know I do. I have two of them. So this is exactly how it should be today and what we are celebrating. So our cast is already in place. So we're going to sing Come, O Come, Emmanuel. If anybody else needs to get in place or needs a costume, now is a great time to get one. We have some pickup parts that we'll call up later. So if you want to be a townsperson, raise your hand while we sing Come, O Come, Emmanuel. year, we tell the story of Jesus' birth. This day, we will hear this ancient and familiar story once again. The story of a baby born in a stable. The story of shepherds and magi. The story of angels and a shining star. Thank you for your part in telling this story. You will help us to experience it in a new way, as if we are seeing it for the first time right here and right now in front of your eyes. So I invite us all to bring that Buddhist concept to the beginner's mind and watch this story unfold as if you're seeing it for the very first time. So, if Mary and Joseph and our donkey are ready in the back of the sanctuary, and if a certain emperor named Caesar Augustus will come up to the pulpit, and our narrator is ready, our story shall begin.
It was another day, with ordinary people going about their lives. Sometimes they were joyous, but honestly, less than they should have been. It could be hard when you didn't earn quite enough money for your family, and when Rome and its army said that you needed to send part of your earnings to Rome so that they could build more palaces for your emperor. But still, one did what one could. Then, one day, early in the morning, another decree went out from the Roman Emperor, Caesar Augustus. People thought it might be just another declaration of his greatness, and it started out that way.
Everyone should love the emperor. That's me, most of all. Say nice words about the emperor. That's me, at your dinner table. Bring me gifts of gold and silver. Let's make a list of all the people and collect tax money for me from all of them.
If you thought Caesar sounded like a jerk, you would be right. He was one. At every meal, people were required to toast Caesar with a drink before they could start eating. They had to say that they would put the emperor first, before their God, before themselves, even before their family. Imagine having to pledge loyalty like that to the person who governed your country, much less a tyrant. If people didn't listen, Caesar's army would burn their homes and their temples and churches, and sometimes take their family to work as slaves in another country. Not very joyous. So many people just did what the Romans told them. Now Caesar was saying that he wanted everyone to put their name on a list. People were scared about what the tyrant ruler would do with the names and addresses on the list. Some people had to go back to where they were born to get on that list, even if that wasn't where they lived anymore. Joseph had to travel with Mary, the woman he was planning to marry. This was particularly hard because Mary was expecting a child.
I saw them get ready to go. That girl child who was about to become a mother, and gentle Joseph who protected her. They took only one bag. So when they went back to put out the fire, I slipped a second bag on the donkey with some bread, meat, and cheese, and a full water skin, with a little note: "You will be missed. May you find kindness that mirrors your own." I watched as they left. Their home looked so sad now that no one was in it. No life. So I started to pray for them, that their journey would be safe, that they would feel a new home with life, that there would be laughter. As I prayed, these images filled my mind. Where there was sadness, now there is also hope.
Let us pause as a community to consider the prayers of our hearts. I invite you now to lift out loud, to add to the chat, or to name in the sacred silence of your heart the people, places, or causes that you brought with you here today. Amen.
and donkey, Mary and Joseph and donkey, will you now begin your slow journey from Nazareth up the aisle? And we need some bright stars now. Will the stars please come forward and transform our chancel into a starry night? So if you have a star and you'd like to come forward for a moment, or you can even stand next to them and help guide them forward gently, shimmer as you would. If you want to come up and be a star, a shining star. Yeah, let's get on the steps up to the chancel so that we can be seen. Up into the sky, up into the sky. The chancel is our sky today.
Oh, Joseph, at first I was angry that we had to leave our home, but now I feel at peace. For I wanted our child to be born at our home, surrounded by a community that loved her. But now, as I look at the stars, peace comes over me. For now, the whole world is her home, and her whole being will be attuned with the stars. This no empire can take from her. This will be enough.
Now, innkeepers, will you come up in front of your inn? And Mary, Joseph, and donkey, will you keep making your slow and careful way? All right, you've made it to the first inn.
Sorry, there's no room for you here.
Bethlehem was crowded, full of people who had come to be registered for the census. So all the rooms at the inn were already taken.
Good evening. We have just arrived from Nazareth and we're looking for a place to stay. Ah, I see no vacancy.
So they continued their journey. It was getting dark and chilly. Joseph was getting worried. If it was just him, he could camp outside for the night, but there was Mary, about to give birth. So they try again.
They have no vacancy too.
I know it's late and I'm so sorry to disturb you, but we've been traveling for so long and my wife is about to have a baby.
My, how tired you look. And gosh, you are very pregnant. There are no rooms left in the inn, but I can't let you sleep outside in your state. You can stay in the stable behind the inn. It won't cost you anything. And good news for you, my wife is trained in helping people give birth. Just up here now.
It was just a small barn, and like most stables, it had animals in it. The innkeeper kept his donkey there, and his cow, and a few pigs and chickens. And maybe there could have been a dog and a cat and two, and well, let's see what else.
So now we need all animals except our sheep. Sheep, you're going to come in a little later, but all animals who aren't our sheep, anyone who put on an animal mask or a headband on your way, or if you need to go grab one in the back, you can. Please come on up. You can crawl or slither or hop or walk, however you wish to come on up. If you're just an animal in your heart, but you don't have a mask and you want to come forward to the stable, you are welcome. And as we come up, let's sing 243.
The animals welcomed Mary and Joseph and were even kind enough to give up their hay-filled manger, otherwise known as a feeding trough, so the baby could have a bed. As soon as Mary and Joseph settled in, it became very clear that it was time for the baby to be born. While the baby is being born, let's stand and join in singing.
Hold on. It became very clear that it was time for the baby to be born. This is the understatement of the millennium. It isn't that kind of miraculous birth. Can I have some help?
Oh, yeah. Hey, innkeeper, you said that your wife was you married like a midwife or a doula? Oh, good. Okay. Innkeeper's wife, come on up. Yes, thank you for accompanying Mary. Oh, look, she even has her hospital badge on. Perfect. Thank you. All right, here we go.
This is no time for a child to be born. With the earth betrayed by war and hate, and a comet slashing the sky to warn that time runs out and the sun burns late. That was no time for a child to be born in a land in the crushing grip of Rome. Honor and truth were trampled by scorn, yet here did the Savior make his home. When is the time for love to be born? The inn is full on the planet Earth, and by a comet the sky is torn, yet love still takes the risk of birth.
Thus, Mary gave birth to her firstborn child in a simple stable, surrounded by animals and wrapped up in bands of cloth. If you have never ever seen a newborn babe or seen a family of a newborn babe, you know what happened. With that as our joyous shout, our cry out to overcome tyranny, let's stand and join in singing Away in a Manger. Thus, Mary gave birth to a son in a simple stable, surrounded by animals. Joseph and Mary wrapped their baby up warmly in bands of cloth and named him Jesus. The animals welcomed the baby by making all their animal noises for him, but gently so they wouldn't scare him. Animals, would you like to make your noises for baby Jesus? The news of the baby's birth spread quickly. It was shouted from the mountaintops, and soon other visitors began to appear. The townspeople and the shepherds, and finally the multitude of angels to sing at his bed. In that region, there were shepherds living in the fields, high in the hills, keeping watch over their flocks of sheep.
So now we need townspeople and the shepherds and sheep. Will all the shepherds and sheep sneak to the back of the sanctuary? Shepherds, you've got your crooks. Excellent, excellent. And when you are ready, our sheepdog, who is very experienced at sheep herding, and townspeople, come. So if you have a townsperson costume, or if you're an innkeeper, you're already in town, so you can just come on up. And let's sing 239, Go Tell It on the Mountain.
Night was coming on. It was cold and we were terribly hungry. We had finished all the bread that was left in my sack, but our guts still craved for more.
I thought of Caesar, and I thought of how Caesar was was asking for more taxes. I felt sick and could not keep eating. I cried out, "My brothers, my sisters, we should challenge Caesar." They thought I was a fool, but they knew I spoke the truth.
Then the air wasn't just empty anymore. It was alive. Brightness everywhere, dipping and reeling like a flock of birds.
And what you thought was silence stopped being silent and turned into the beating of wings.
Thousands and thousands of them. Only not just wings, but voices, high and wild like trumpets.
While the shepherds were watching their flocks by night, suddenly an angel stood before them. And this angel was truly magnificent, and the glory of the heavens shone around the shepherds, and they were terrified. But the angel said to them,
"Do not be afraid, for I am bringing you news of great joy. To you this day in the city of David, a child who will be a great... To you is born this day in the city of David, a child who will be a great leader for your people. You will know this child when you find him wrapped in bands of cloth and lying in a manger."
And suddenly, there was, with the angel Gabriel, a whole choir of angels. So will all the angels fly over and join Gabriel in the front of the pulpit. So the shepherds said to one another, "Woo! At last!" The shepherds went quickly to Bethlehem with their sheep, and the angels gathered in the sky around the stable to help light the way. So while we sing, could the shepherds, sheep, and the sheepdog all come to Bethlehem and gather around the manger? Let's stand and join in singing "Angels We Have Heard on High." The shepherds and their sheep found Mary and Joseph and the baby lying in the manger, just as the angel Gabriel had said they would. When the shepherds saw this, they told everyone what the angel had said about this newborn baby. And everyone who heard the story was amazed. Who knew that this story would be one that the stars would tell? That this precious little vulnerable person would be the person the Jews and other people, hungry, lonely, forgotten people, had been waiting for a long time. Everyone sat with this news, staring at the little baby Jesus. They felt a sense of wonder and connection. They realized that a mixture of wonder and connection is often what joy mixed with love feels like. Each one, silently to themselves, agreed that they would have to raise this person with care.
All life long, you wait for your own true love to come. We all do. Our destiny, our joy, our heart's desire. I could have missed it. I almost missed when the baby came. If some guidant voice hadn't called to me, I would have. Too often I have. Too often we each have. Pray for me, siblings. Pray for me and for all of us that we do not miss our true love, our true calling when it appears in life, because truly this is our story.
After Jesus was born in Bethlehem, 3 wise folks, or magi, who were royal folks from the far east, came to Jerusalem. So wise folks, can you get ready in the sanctuary now? Gifts in hand.
So, the wise persons set out for Bethlehem. They knew which way to go because I was shining brightly above. That's right, I am the feature star in this story. How else would I know it so well? Stars like me have witnessed all sorts of miraculous births. We have watched over each of you as you have grown. But back to the story. Where were we? The wise people. After Jesus was born in Bethlehem, 3 wise persons from the far east came to Jerusalem. The wise persons knew about a prophecy which had been spoken a long time ago, that a Messiah or leader would be born in Bethlehem. They went on a long, difficult journey to Bethlehem, bearing special and beautiful gifts for the baby because they wanted to honor him. So let's stand and join in singing We Three Kings, while the wise people make their way to Bethlehem down the aisle and give their best gifts to baby Jesus. Magi found the baby in the stable. They were overwhelmed with joy. There they saw the child with his parents, and they knelt down to honor him. And they opened their bags and brought out gifts of gold and frankincense and myrrh.
Why did we travel so far to be there when it happened? Why did we go? Because we had watched the suffering of the Jewish people for too long. Because it is important to show up for your neighbors. Because we had some gifts to bring that might help them. We knew that even a great leader cannot do everything alone, so we showed up in mind, body, and spirit, offering what we had, but mostly to feel the fullness inside when you do the right thing in the right place and the right time.
We didn't stay long, but we watched the little one take a breath, and then another. There was so much peace in those breaths. Everyone was still. I will remember that baby as my own for the rest of my days. How is it that you can come to love someone so quickly?
We set our gifts down on the straw and left. It wasn't for us to say how Jesus and his people should go about changing the world. Showing up was enough.
And behold, the multitude came to see the child, and cherubs to hover about his manger bed. Now we have gathered everyone together who is a part of this story. Let us pause for a moment and look. Look at the shining stars and the angels. Look at the shepherds with their sheep and the wise people with their gifts. Look at all the animals gathered around the manger. Look at the parents and their baby. Look. This ancient and familiar story about hope and yearning, about love and mystery, wonder and joy, it is all here. It is all still here. The kings and queens will be heading home, and the shepherds will return with their flocks, but the spirit of Christmas will remain with us. Let us share that spirit by sheltering the refugee, healing the broken, bringing peace to our neighbors, and feeding the hungry. Let us appreciate all who brought this story to light.
I invite us to reflect on how this story began with Caesar demanding that he control everything, control where people are, control their finances, control what everyone in the emperor was doing. And do you know what is remarkable about this story? How quickly Caesar fades from view. The minute that we turn from Caesar to the neighbor who gives blessings for the journey, gives reassurances for the journey, packs an extra bag to make our life a little easier. Abundance, control is answered by abundance. The other thing that really reminds me about this story is of all the other people who went on the journey, from the animals who came from their deserts and their forests and their fields, to the angels who joined from their heavenly abodes, to the shepherds who made their ways across the hills, and the wise people who journeyed from other lands. They journeyed out of choice. They felt compelled to come. They weren't made to come or ordered to come, but they chose to come. They chose to come out of a sense of love and a desire to witness a new world being born. And so I ask us to remember how we too were like these people, how we got up a little early and scraped off our cars and bundled up a little bit more because we knew that being here today would be just what our spirits needed. This story that we just watched is not so different from the stories of our lives. And so when we are feeling hopeless, or some tyrant makes demands from his bully pulpit, let us remember to turn towards each other, to show up, to go where is needed, to bring our gifts, to witness our miracles into the world, and have him fade far from our views. May this Christmas message be with us this day and in all the days of this year. May it be so, and amen. Amen. Let's give one more hand of applause. And beloveds, in just a minute, when Keith next plays his music, which is going to be in about 1 minute, I'm going to invite you to go back to your pews with your family or the pews that you have reserved for you. So we're going to let these people move first and then all these. So let's not bump each other as we go. So, and now let's hear from our worship associate. She's buried in there, I promise. I beg your pardon. In the chat, will I bring your attention to the connection card? In the chat, or when you entered the sanctuary, you received a connection card. And we invite you to reflect on today's question. How is the Christmas message resonating with your life? Is this it? something that says Billy. Oh, here we go. Okay, sorry about that.
Our announcement today is a quick report from. Okay. Our announcement today is a quick report from the children's meeting last Sunday during the congregational meeting. The kids in attendance voted for Panda and Potatoes for the new religious education mascots. And paper snowflakes, origami, and bracelet making were top choices for choose your own adventure activities. They hope for more potlucks and have asked to sing Sio Hamba and Spirit of Life more.
You all. The kids were darling, and I really appreciate the RE staff, teachers, and parents who assisted with pulling this together. Let's just say that it went a little better than the last time I was in a Christmas pageant. It was the early 60s. We lived at Dow Air Force Base in Bangor, Maine, and my Sunday school class was called on stage to sing Away in the Manger. I stood up there with my class and cried through the entire song. I remember being in my mom's arms at the back of the church after the performance and her asking me what was wrong. My response, "They said the 2- and 3-year-olds, and I'm 4." Like I said, I grew up on Air Force bases, and my dad was an Air Force meteorologist. One year, he gave my sister and me thermometer earrings for Christmas, and here they are. If I had had these on in the past several weeks, probably would have been down in, the 50s maybe in here? But thanks to Mr. Bob Polite, our building engineer, and Tracy Hughes, our executive director, we have worked it out to have heat in the sanctuary and some other rooms. It is still chilly in Pierce Hall, but there will be plenty of snacks and coffee to warm you up. And I have it under good authority that the heat will be fixed in the whole bedroom, in the whole church next week. But as you can imagine, this is an unexpected expense. So we really, really hope that you have been making and fulfilling your pledge to our annual fund and making and fulfilling your pledge to the Hope Rises capital campaign for repairs to our historic building. So everyone, pay up to warm up. Our December Share the Plate recipient is Miriam's Kitchen, a local Washington, D.C. organization focused on ending chronic homelessness through both direct support and advocacy. They do critical work in the neighborhood and across the city. Think of it this way. They are the innkeepers who again and again say welcome. All Souls works with the Miriam's Kitchen to help support individuals in need, and we meet at or right around the church. We will now collect the connection cards, and the offering will be given and gratefully received. We encourage you to give generously in support of Miriam's Kitchen, as well as to support the ongoing mission and ministries of All Souls.
Children, go where I send thee. shall I send thee? I'm gonna send thee one by one.
One with a little bitty baby, wrapped in swaddling clothing, lying in a manger. Born in Bethlehem.
Children, go where I send thee. How shall I send thee? I'm gonna send thee 2 by 2.
Two for Joseph and Mary, one for the little bitty baby, wrapped in swaddling clothing, lying in a manger. Born in Bethlehem.
Children, go where I send thee. How shall I send thee? I'm gonna send thee 3 by 3.
Three for the 3 year
May the babe from long ago and the children of today bring us hope and joy this Christmas season. And for their sake, may we labor to build a more peaceful and just world, so that one day both heaven and earth may sing again, joy to the world. Will you please rise and sing with me? May you go out into the world inspired by the work of Christmas. Please turn and greet each other in peace and joy.